So here we are, the last entry for the Junior Eurovision 2025 lineup. Yes, I know this song has been out for a couple weeks. I was waiting for the music video, okay? Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the ESC Harry channel. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Malta's entry to Junior Eurovision 2025. This year they are being represented by Eliza Borg with the song I Believe. Now, to be honest, had you asked me if I was excited for Malta's Junior Eurovision entry, I probably would have said no. I'm aware that they obviously have success at this contest. I know the iconic Destiny won Junior Eurovision for Malta. However, in the last few years, in the early 2020s, they had a rough patch of form, rarely reaching the top level. Even before then, I remember in 2019, they sadly came last. Like, they just weren't on a good run at Junior Eurovision. However, last year, it all changed. They got back into the top 5 for the first time in what felt like forever, and with a really good song as well. I actually really enjoyed last year's entry. I believe it even came third in the televote. So I have a little bit more expectation for Malta in Junior Eurovision this year. I am somewhat anticipating a decent entry. Whether I'm right or wrong, I guess we're about to find out. But before we get into the reaction, make sure to like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to ESC Harry, and comment down below what are your thoughts on Malta's entry for Junior Eurovision 2025. With that being said, let's get to reacting. Okay, so hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I am aware from hearing about this music video, it is likely AI. We'll come on to that after this reaction. I'm ignoring the fact that's only 1 foot. Okay, she idolizes Destiny, at least according to this music video. Okay, building here. Very typical ballad sound at the moment, anthemic. This is building quite nicely. Where's this chorus going? Incredibly Disney feeling at the moment. Very typical lyrics in the moment of a Junior Eurovision song, not a bad thing. I will say they're appearing on the screen like 3 seconds after she actually sings them. Gotta love AI. Is that Maltese? It's been intense for a while, I have to say, this song. Very full on with its instrumental. She's got a lovely, like, full voice, Eliza, here. I believe she won the Voice Kids, so makes sense she can sing. I would say I'm pretty sure this is the only song, I mean, it actually definitely is the only song that is fully in English, or like 95% in English. That might help it stand out amongst some viewers. Of course, in Malta, English is one of the languages they speak, so they are allowed to send it in fully English. Oh, lovely note. One more chorus, one more chorus. Somewhat, and now she's performing on stage. Her dream is clearly to be a singer. Big note here, big note. Phew. Dramatic throughout, I have to say. That was Malta's entry for Junior Eurovision 2025. Right, well, that was Malta's entry for Junior Eurovision 2025. And before we get onto the song itself, let's address the elephant in the room with the AI music video. Now, I'd like to say, if this was somewhat Eliza's idea, then maybe a little more leniency, although you could just do animation. However, if not, and even if so, why is AI a trend now with Junior Eurovision? I know the postcards were AI based last year. It's a dangerous like rabbit hole to go down, to have AI be closely associated with Junior Eurovision, or just anything I'd say at the moment. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I know many others don't like the use of AI. I will say, so Armenia's music video, I wasn't sure whether it was AI or animation. To clarify, if that is also AI used in Armenia's music video, I don't like that either. Although what I would say is, in their music video, it's less obvious because I think the storytelling is better and the graphics are better. So yeah, I don't know what happened to Malta's budget when doing a music video. I don't know whether they used all of their Eurovision budget in trying to get a swear word in their adult song and pretend it's a Maltese word. But yeah, I'm disappointed in Malta for using AI. So moving on to the song itself, it's a ballad. Of course it is. It's Junior Eurovision 2025. You've got to have a ballad, unless you're like Azerbaijan, Ukraine, or Netherlands. I genuinely, off the top of my head, I think they're the only three that don't have ballads this year. It's a ballad every year. Why not? But it's a very typical ballad, I'd have to say, in message, in structure, in theming for Junior Eurovision. Not a bad thing. Like, these themes do work in Junior Eurovision for a reason. I'd be a lot more critical of them if it was the adult contest, but again, they work in this contest where it's about aspirations, about achieving your goals and, you know, dreaming. And this song does achieve a lot of those goals. So from that perspective, very well done. And Eliza's vocals are great throughout, very solid, very full. And I don't know what age she is, but it sounds like she's at least in her teens, because you don't get those vocals from a young age. Like, those are properly harnessed. And yeah, I'm very impressed if she can hit those notes live, which I'd imagine she can since she won a singing contest to basically represent Malta. Then yeah, I look forward to hearing her sing this live. I really do. I would say my main issue with the song is only that it has quite a bit of intensity from like the first bridge right into the end. And look, I love intensity. I love the use of intensity in a song. However, it does need to be balanced out with some quieter moments, some light and shade, just to give the audience a breath, basically. If it's intense throughout, it's just so chaotic. And look, there's always staging that can help balance it out and really like structure this song to help the audience. But from the moment it was a lot, you know, it was still a net positive for me. I still enjoyed a lot of the parts of this song. However, I just think it could have flowed and paced and, you know, the light and shade. It could have done a bit more of the dynamics of songwriting a bit better, I would say. As for how this could get on at Junior Eurovision, now Malta has actually drawn the opening running order slot in this year's contest. They've gone from closing the show last year to opening this year. It is a ballad that's opening the show. However, it's an uplifting, upbeat, anthemic ballad, so it does suit the opening slot, I would say. This is also before Azerbaijan, I believe, is in slot 2. There's a nice balance there. There's a lot of ballads this year, as I've mentioned, so it's hard to know. I don't think this will win, sadly. Could it come top half? Yeah, if the vocals are good enough. I think there's some jury love here. I'm not sure. I would say let's say top half would be a really good achievement, I think, for Malta. And, you know, top 10, top half, that's where this can aim to get. And I hope it gets there because, you know, I am part Maltese. I always do like to root for Malta. But there's room for improvement. And with all these songs, which I'm slightly more skeptical about their chances, if I'm proven wrong, absolutely fantastic. So there were my thoughts on Malta's entry for Junior Eurovision 2025, but remember, my opinion is not the correct one, it is just my opinion. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about Malta's entry? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? But remember, regardless, as with all Junior Eurovision entries this year, please be nice and respectful. These are kids here, we do not want to be mean. Once again, make sure to like this video if you enjoy it and subscribe if you are new to ESC Harry so you do not miss any final bits and bobs of Junior Eurovision content and more prominently, the adult Eurovision content for 2026 coming along. If you have missed any of my Junior Eurovision content, there is a playlist here which you can click. All my reactions for this year's lineup are in there, so you can see some of my favorites, the ones I didn't like. I might also post like a YouTube short at some point with my top 5 for this year. I've just got to figure those out first, to be honest. But yeah, all my content for Junior Eurovision in this corner here. All that's left me to say is I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for another video on this channel. Take care, guys.